Yo, what's going on, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know who it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, brought to you by MSOTD Rocks, where rock and metal thrive. Wishing you guys a happy Thursday. It is the first day of October. It's spooky season now, but this ain't spooky. This is an incredibly very special episode because this band, I asked them to be back on the podcast in March, and the response was, let's wait till COVID calms down and see what happens. Well, they got some stuff figured out, and 6 months later, bing, bang, boom, finally, we made it happen. So this one's awesome because tomorrow, on October 2nd, there's a brand new song coming out by this band, and you're going to want to listen to it. But first, listen to us talk about it with the band. So please welcome the guys from the band No Resolve. Are you guys ready? Because I know I am. Let's go! Yeah! Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast, I've got an incredible guest here for you today, so I'm just not going to mince words because this band kicks ass. Please welcome the guys from No Resolve. Guys, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
How you doing?
Doing fine. I got beers just like you guys, so
Yes,
cheers.
sir.
Start out that way. Alrighty, so I remember I messaged you guys back in March about potentially doing this, and then with everything with COVID happening, it kind of started, okay, let's wait till things start settling down. Of course, that hasn't really happened, but you know what? 6 months later, here we are. So when I saw that message, like, yeah, we're going to do this, I'm like, let's go. Woo!
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then as I was preparing for this podcast, all of a sudden I completely did not notice this until then, but I'm like, wait, you guys got a new song coming out on October 2nd? What the hell?
Yeah, man. Prepare for a lot more, too. We got a lot in the works here.
Oh my God, there's even more. Holy shit. Are we talking like just more singles, a new EP, like a new album? What are we talking about?
A new EP. We're going to have another one-off coming out this year, too. So even more than this song.
Oh my God, you guys must have been really working hard during the whole entire summer and the initial time of quarantine just to make sure you kept growing the band, and just so that when stuff like this happened, all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, you're ready to go, ready to put it all out there.
Yeah, so we haven't really talked about it yet, but we just signed to a new label. And it's like a brand new label, unconventional deal, like not your typical, because let's face it, a traditional deal would not work right now at all. So basically we signed with these guys. They're called Noise Machine. It's the two guys, or the one and the other guy, however you want to put it, that started and created I Prevail. So they're the ones that launched that band. And also, with notable work on Escape the Fate and bunch of other TV stuff, but so we're working with those guys now. So we're working on a bulk of that through the whole quarantine thing, because you couldn't really do that much. It was back and forth with lawyers and so forth, whatever, all that boring shit. But as soon as we got it knocked out and things started to lift up, now we're cooking with gas. We're writing songs and recording. So we've already got four in the bank.
Nice. And it's not like you guys started out going into this with Noise Machine without anything. Because I just saw that Get Me Out just crossed the 15 million stream mark on Spotify.
Yeah, we're stoked, man. That song, we didn't know it was going to do that.
No, it's pretty surreal.
We got that song going. It's crazy. So
yeah, so I remember one of my brother's friends actually sent me that song really early when I started this thing. I'm like, oh, let's check it out. I'm like, holy crap. Okay, we got something here.
It's so weird, man. We did that song, and we kind of put out the EP before that, A New Beginning. That was our first thing in 2011, right? Mm-hmm. 2009 we started, and then, we did our thing, and, sucking really bad at shows like you're supposed to when you're a local band and, all that shit. And then Get Me Out. And then it just snowballed. We released it, and my buddy was like, hey, we got 300,000 plays on Spotify. I was like, oh, what? What the fuck is Spotify, dude? What is that? And I look it up. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. People from all over the world are listening. But yeah, it's crazy how that works.
It's a crazy good song, and I think I was looking at some the history behind it. You guys apparently had it played at some Detroit Red Wings games, in the playoffs one year.
Yeah, they were using it for the playoffs. We didn't even know. Nobody told us. Yeah, somebody was sending us videos hey, you're at the Red Wings playoff games on the screen and shit. I was like, what?
It's we did that? Really?
Yeah.
Why the hell weren't we notified?
Yeah.
That's awesome. But let's jump into the big thing, the fact that there is a song that you have called Never Back Down, which is coming out on October 2nd. And I want to know all about it because I went when I found out about it. I asked like, "Hey, for this, can I listen to it real quick beforehand?" I was listening to it right before we jumped on this call just to make sure. I'm like, okay, I want to just get myself a refresher. I probably listened like 3 or 4 times. Made sure what I had down on my notes sheet. I'm like, do I think that? And all of a sudden, I just kept looking. I thought, yep, we're good. So I want to know all about the song. So first off, what was the inspiration behind this song initially?
This was our introduction to Noise Machine, the first real introduction. On the previous EP, we had The Divide, which we worked with one of the guys from the label to do Worth the Fight, and ever since then we were real interested. So, right before, I guess, COVID kind of hit, we were talking back and forth, and it was just like a little baby of an idea at that point, and we heard it. We're like, we gotta fucking work with these guys. This is incredible, So, and the chemistry that we've all had now, writing with with this band in that studio with those guys has been just next to
It just feels real natural with these guys.
Yeah,
it's a good
great
fit, and everyone agrees. It's all the stars kind of aligned. It was real nice.
Yeah, Never Back Down was just like, it was that perfect thing coming out of COVID. Like, I'll never back down. And not only that, we got a new member. He's not here, but we got Rich Beto, formerly of Saint Asonia and Finger 11. So that translated to him really well with his things, because he had gone through like some addiction stuff and had gone to rehab. So he's like, man, this is just great. He immigrated from Canada over to here, and now he's with us. And it's like, we're all doing this together because we're very much like a family, which I'm sure a lot of bands are, but for us, we're like a family. We take care of each other, and we do it like that.
That's a very important thing to have as a band, is have that family mentality, because then it just creates a trust and a comfort level between you guys. And when I saw that Rich join, I'm like, wait, isn't that the Saint Asonia guy? And I'm just like, oh yeah, I love Saint Asonia. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to listen to Finger 11. Like that's one of my.
We opened up for him at St. Andrews,
right? For Rich.
Yeah, we opened up for him.
We opened up for
we
Rich's
played
whole
a show
band.
with you, buddy.
Yeah, he's like, I remember that.
Yeah,
you guys were pretty good. And now you're in my band, bitch.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that is hilarious. But when it comes to Never Back Down, because I remember listening to it, when it comes to that first just like introduction to Noise Machine, and also introduction coming out of COVID too, just with everything that's gone on with the intro, the way it starts, I mean, it starts out interesting where it kind of has that it gives me a feel like that electronic feel, something like a From Ashes to New or Hollywood Undead song kind of might start out. But then, my God, when the instrumentals come in, you guys went like full metalcore on it, and my face just went, oh my God, this is what I need. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, that's the reaction we want to have.
For sure. And me and him are always the guys that are like, heavier. You want to go heavier.
Yeah, and when I heard that, because for me, I love hearing like that just double tap of the bass, just like every step of the way, and just everything that was constructed with it, just especially coming out of that more like soft electronic intro, just the contrast in there just led you into this harder thing that just made so much sense. It was a great way to intro into this song.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And was it you guys just really trying to drive that, like, come on, we need to go harder, we need to do this, come on?
That, and like it's ideas. Like a
lots of ideas spinning around.
Yeah, for sure.
That stuck.
Not only that, it's it's a new band basically, with a new sound. This is a new thing, I mean, Rich joining and COVID and all that, we're just coming out stronger, and like the song says, we're never backing down. We're gonna keep going, keep releasing content.
But the one thing that I specifically kind of thought, especially when you're talking about, it's kind of like a new band, especially with Rich in there, but where it also is still the same, where it's that high energy drive kind of feel that you guys have, talking like with Get Me Out and a song like This Is War. When it comes into this, you're still going to get that high energy drive feel to the music. So you can still feel that No Resolve connection throughout your whole entire discography into this song, even with it being that heavy metalcore intro. So that was really something that I like, because it's that connection is still there, yet you're able to try many different things with your sound, as long as you kind of still have that high energy drive kind of feel, even if it is more melodic at times too. As long as it still has that just driving feel to it, you guys are golden.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Man, look at me just constantly talking about this song and just applauding it. And my question is will I keep applying it? I take a look at my notes because I'm almost certain that I'm going to, because when it came to the verses, especially instrumentally, you kind of turned to something a little bit more melodic, but you kind of kept that same high energy drive pacing to it. And then you also have this like electronic influence in there, and it kind of kept that slow melodic style with the drums playing with some quicker fills in there. Guitars played more of like a down tune style. And what I thought, there's a lot of times when I hear stuff like this, and I hear bands like From Ash to New, and one of my favorite bands, Hollywood Undead, they do this a lot, and they're very successful with this when the instrumentals stay hard, but they have something to keep melodic. And I'm like, right now, when you listen to No Resolve in this song, they fit right in that category where this absolutely works out perfectly to keep that drive going, but also give it also more of a melodic feel to kind of build up into something that the chorus is going to go into.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's the feel we
wanted that metalcore sound, but still with the same like No Resolve feel and sound to it also. So
yeah, still
delicate balance.
Keep the roller coaster.
Yeah.
With the feel of it, but yeah.
Yeah, and when you keep that balance too, it's like you're going to try something new, try something with a little bit more metalcore, but then when you keep that same drive and balance, you're able to mix it with your specific sound so that it fits in, everything flows the way it's supposed to flow. And when you get to the end product, you're going to get something that you're going to really be proud of. And I mean, again, after going through this track, yeah, this is insane, especially when you get to the chorus, because I absolutely love the chorus on this one. You perfectly constructed it with the drum staying heavy, with the double tap fills in there. Again, I just spoke about it earlier. I love when this happens. It always gets me going. I mean, I was a drummer when I was a kid. I could never do that, but then I gave up on it. Probably shouldn't have, but that's my fault, of course. And then the guitars in this one, they had to mix you had like one that was kind of more down tune sound, one that had a little lighter sound. It creates a certain heaviness to the song, and there's also a little bit of electronic part to it, and they maintain that melodic aspect through it. And this perfectly encapsulates the anthemic power of Never Back Down, while also molding it with those higher energy verses at the same time as well. So when you mix all of that together into a song like this, and you create also like this heavy metalcore sound, and then you kind of go more melodic with it and high energy at the exact same time, but then build up that heavier sound in the chorus, everything flows together so nicely. It's really hard to just take a look at this song and think, they didn't do this right, because you guys did this incredible job with the instrumentals on this one. I absolutely loved it.
Appreciate that so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
We love it.
You can't have a song called Never Back Down and it's a bummer, you know?
Exactly. It's if you have a song called Never Back Down, it's like a bummer. You're just thinking, well, is this like maybe back down? But no, especially with the instrumentals, I mean, that you work with, this is definitely Never Back Down, and it made a lot of sense.
Thanks.
Appreciate that so much, man.
No, I mean, I went through the I did my little review of the instrumentals in this one. Should we talk about the vocals on this one and roast Oscar, or should I praise Oscar? I mean, it's up to you guys. What do you want me to do?
Roast me up.
Yeah. Well, let's see. How about this? How about I just tell you what I actually I'll tell you what I actually think. And when it starts out with, it kind of had more of this like muted sound through that electronic influence, like right away at the beginning of the intro. And I really like this because artists I really like, going back to Hollywood Undead with their clean singer Danny, like you really lead well in that harder instrumental part with the metalcore sound, and it's successful here because again, it just has this very easy flow to go from this more lighter, more drawn sound to all of a sudden this heavy metalcore sound. It's just that contrast works out incredibly well, especially with those more drawn back, more softer vocals. Especially this is just in the intro though too, because the contrast, I always love when that contrast hits, and this one you guys hit on it perfectly.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
And then when you go to the verses, one thing I was kind of curious was, it sounded like in your vocals, you play with a little bit of electronic distortion, and it makes your vocals kind of like play at different volumes as well. But in the end, I really thought this worked well because you had a melodic pacing to there with that more electronic polished sound, and allowed that heavier instrumentation to pop. And it really created more of this, like, that deep vibe, like, again, that I've been hearing from other bands that really do this well, from Ashes to New, Hollywood Undead. And it's really cool in my opinion. And I love how, as it goes on, your vocals do get a little bit rougher until we get that heavier unclean scream that leads right into the chorus. That is the transition that perfectly leads into that chorus. It is, that vocal transition just works out because you're getting back into that heavier sense with the vocals. And then when you get to the instrumentation off of it, yeah, you get that nice transition right into it.
Yeah, it's cool you notice that, man. Because there's a lot of play in vocals that people don't always think about or realize, you know, where there's different screams and there's different feels and different voices that you can have to really blend it together. Because you can't just have the same voice the whole way through. It's going to be boring.
No, oh, absolutely not. I mean, there's times where I've seen bands that have had the voice the same way through, and I'm not going to lie, there are times it works, but there's a lot more times where you have those different dynamic vocal styles, different patterns, different voices that you're using, And when you have those different dynamics, you're able to switch between different parts of the songs with a lot more power, with a lot more vigor, and it easily allows it, but also lets it, like, throws it right in your face at the same time too.
Totally.
And that's always like about that unclean scream right in there. And then when you got to the chorus on this one, you went clean, you kind of went more melodic with it. And I love how it works because you kept that anthemic feel of the song with that more melodic style vocal along with the electronic part of the song in there. But then you contrast it against the heavier instrumentals and you made those parts stand out even more. So this was a great compare contrast style in the chorus.
Well, appreciate that so much, man.
So when it comes down to it, this is what I thought about it. I thought overall, and I'm taking a look at my notes so I don't fuck this up. That's why I've always been kind of looking over here to make sure I don't mess this up. I thought overall, No Resolve took a chance here by mixing a more melodic anthemic style with metalcore parts, and it absolutely works here. It has a little bit of that, like a deeper feeling for me, like from Hollywood Undead, from Ashes Anew, and it still has that high energy anthemic theatric style that No Resolve has come to really get into. Now, will this song be as good as the song that just crossed 15 million streams on Spotify with Get Me Out? Again, who knows? Time will tell. But do I think this has a chance to be the forefront of what, like, this could become a favorite from a bunch of people that love the band? Could this become their favorite song, especially with that anthemic feel? Absolutely.
God, we hope so. We've been trying to beat that song for 10 years.
It's a benchmark, and we're gonna use that as hopefully one of these days. That's the lowest streaming song.
Oh God, I would love to get it down to number 10 spot on Spotify.
So it's like Get Me Out number 10. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of new stuff just piling up on top of it.
Just push it down the list. That's
That'd be great.
You know, we love that song.
I'm glad people enjoy that song. It was great. Every time we play it live, people are always singing it at us, and that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, you know what's crazy too is a lot of people that just get introduced to our band, they listen to that song first, and I'm like, what?
Because it's
why?
It's
you know, I know, I get it, but I'm just like, well, we just released stuff like that. Songs that it's so old, like you can listen to the new stuff and just check it out. But it is a cool segue too, and that song it feels timeless for us, and it was fun making that one too.
Well, that song's always going to have a connection with you guys too. Again, right now, it's the song that you guys end up getting known for. But when it comes to what you guys are doing now, especially what you did on Never Back Down, it's showing that there's so much more that's still there that people have not understood yet when it comes to No Resolve. So especially after this, I'm still wondering, like you said, there's a couple other things coming out still this year. Like, what's coming next? Is it going to be something that's harder, something more melodic? But I know still you're going to have that high energy drive anthemic feel to it where people are just going to really get behind it and just feel like they can run through a wall at the end of the song.
Right. Oh man, we got some curveballs coming.
All of the above. That's just that's all we say. It's all of the above. We're gonna get.
I'll tell you one thing. We're for sure gonna release a cover.
Oh, I'm not gonna ask which one because I'm not sure if you guys want me asking which one.
That's it.
That's what I thought, and I'm gonna respect that one. So, but I'm gonna be curious
to hear. To release a lot. We want to put a lot of music out. I don't want it, none of us want to be going to the studio for 2 years to release one album. That just can't happen anymore. We need to start putting out like a lot of music. So any fans are watching, just know there's a lot coming, a lot.
And especially with just the way today is with everything with streaming and with how COVID went, with everyone being focused on, okay, there's not really any live shows playing. So everyone's going to be going to the internet to get their fix on almost everything. So if all of a sudden on Spotify and all these streaming services, all of a sudden you guys are constantly putting out new stuff, everything keeps popping up on these major playlists, all of a sudden you start seeing new No Resolve songs like every now and again, like every other month or something like that. That name's just going to end up resonating in their heads, and all of a sudden they're going to check it out. Then they'll probably listen to Get Me Out because, well, if it's on top, they're probably listening. They're probably going to say, oh, shoot, I know what band this is. And then they're going to listen to some of the newer stuff as well and then really get into it afterwards.
Right, hopefully. For sure.
That's the goal, right?
Either way, if they're checking out our music, whether it's the brand new song or Get Me Out first, we're just humbled and happy that they're there even listening to it in the first place.
It's like you got to start somewhere, so.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully, but listen to Never Back Down. Don't be a dick.
Oh, don't worry. In the video of this on YouTube, there's going to be a big thing on the bottom that says Never Back Down, available or released October 2nd. It'll be there, so everyone will.
You're playing it at the beginning, right?
What was that?
You're playing it at the beginning of the show too, or something, right?
Well, because the episode's going to come out the day beforehand, so I don't think you want me playing it during the beginning of the show.
Oh, right.
I was like, there's that. I'm like, because I don't want to all of a sudden have Noise Machine come after me and be like, hey, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were saying the day after, but no, awesome.
No, because the reason if I did the day after, it'd be a Saturday. I'm like, well, who listens to a podcast on a Saturday?
You play the teaser before it, and that way it's like, hey, you kind of heard it.
Exactly, and then it's like, well, if you want to hear someone's educated opinion, or well, if you think I'm educated enough, my educated opinion on it, listen and see we see what Kevin thinks, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, now we really have to check this song out when it comes out.
Well, I hope so. We appreciate it.
That is the whole plan behind this.
Right on.
And I'll tell you this: if I didn't like it, I would have told you that straight up. But no, this was a good song. You guys killed it on this one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So what else have you guys been doing, especially during this whole entire shutdown time? Because, well, outside of just making music and doing the whole entire thing with Noise Machine.
That soaked up a lot of it. A few of us moved. There was a lot of just talking back and forth and sending ideas. Maddie's recently set up a studio in his house, so that would be us going over and trying to track ideas and all that stuff, and it's just a lot of that.
Makes a lot of sense, but it's the key is what you guys were doing during this whole entire shutdown time was you were not sitting down doing nothing. You guys were taking the time as it had and said, okay, this is the situation at hand. What can we do to better position ourselves for now and then going forward? And I mean, it looks like you absolutely did that with new stuff coming out. Your deal with Noise Machine that you said was not like a conventional deal because those deals can't be had anymore because of the world we live in. And then maybe
they won't work. Who knows?
We'll see. But and then also having some
down that has one. I'm just saying for us it worked to not be in a conventional deal.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. You guys might be the trailblazers in all this then going forward.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
All of a sudden there's going to be like a whole thing in music history. It's like, yeah, so what happened with like COVID happened and then this fantastic new deal that bands were getting just came up out of nowhere. Well, who started it? And all of a sudden you guys would be like, it was us. Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, that is awesome. And then do you guys have any idea of like any potential tours in the works, even though I know right now everything is super crazy and no one knows what the hell is going on? But do you guys have any idea of potential tours that are going to be happening so that, when that comes up, all of a sudden, because I know you guys got beer, I got beer. I'm putting you down on the list I got a list that says first rounds on me. So whenever I go see a band that I've had in the podcast and I see them, first rounds on me.
Right on.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't have any plan. I mean, there's just nothing to book right now. Our plans right now are mostly to put out music. We went out with Red Jumpsuit. Was that our last tour? Mm-hmm. Went out with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and I Set to Kill. And then after that, it was like the focus was recording and stuff like that. But I just, the whole COVID
and then
thing,
this happened.
Yeah.
Right. No, we're trying to build up our catalog, get our EP and some of our singles knocked out, and we'll put a show together. Then we'll concentrate on tour.
Right now, content is key.
We got to work out. Yeah, we've got some homework to do and get our business taken care of. Then we'll get some dates out there.
Our plan is to for sure eventually hit Europe, South America if we can. That'd be amazing. Yes, I do.
I do too.
Well, I mean, now you got Rich in the band. You might be able to use some of those contacts that he has. All of a sudden, like, hey, can we get connected with this band and this band? And all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, you guys are over in Europe in 2021.
I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy. Some of the names that have heard our demo now. It's pretty crazy.
Any names you'd be willing to share or no?
Nope.
Fair enough. I asked once, I'm not going to push it again.
We want to so bad when we can.
Again, fair enough. But shoot. Well, again, I love the answer that you gave just due to the fact that, well, when talking about what you guys have been doing now and just kind of focusing on what you can do now, because again, you could be focusing on like, okay, 1 or 2 years come back, what are we going to do there? But right now, who the hell knows? So basically you're focusing on what you can do now in order to make sure that until that happens, you guys are consistently in a position that people are going to be hearing your music, especially in the world we're living in today, where all of a sudden, again, every couple of months, all of a sudden, these major playlists on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Apple Music. I keep saying Apple Podcasts, but Amazon Music, Google Play, all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, they're just going to be seeing your name just pop up all the time. And it's going to be it's going to come to a point where they're going to end up having to click on it at some point because it's just going to be too hard to ignore.
I like the way you're thinking.
I had a conversation about this earlier with all about the psychology of getting people to listen to music, especially in today's world where if you go back like 30 years ago, people buying albums and vinyls and cassettes. Well, not really vinyls, but like buying it. And all of a sudden you listen to it, but you listen to more of it than just like 10 seconds because you actually bought it. It's more like an investment. Now it's like streaming. It's like, okay, if you don't like in the first 10 seconds, you pass on it. Well, I'll put it this way with Never Back Down, because once everyone hears that intro, boom, game over. They're stuck.
Good.
I hope so, man.
That was the goal. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if they don't, then, well, they've got a real problem because don't know about that.
Hey, man, haters make the world go around. So,
hey, man, haters made Ronnie Radke famous.
Fucking name, make me famous. Haters. Shit.
Yeah.
Just become the next biggest Twitch streamer. I think you got it covered.
Yeah, or TikToker.
He has been doing that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Twitch. He sits there and talks for like an hour.
Why don't you do that? That should be
What am I going to say for an hour?
I don't know.
Say anything to say for that.
Yeah. This is the most he said.
I don't want to go to Brazil. The only thing I don't, which is
You don't want to go to Brazil?
No, I do, but they got huge mosquitoes.
Brazil's badass.
That's what you're worried about in this world? Mosquitoes. Very big mosquito in Brazil.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not. Apparently, you guys might not be going to Brazil when you guys end up touring South America.
Shit, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
we
this
fucking
in
are.
the back with a bunch of like pink
Yeah.
chamomile cream on.
He's gonna come out in a beekeeper's.
we did a tour with Pop Evil, and there was some. I give it to him. It was a little skeptical because it doesn't happen every day. But we played like this little bar on a Monday, sold out, and this guy came up to us and was like, "Hey, you guys want to fucking come party with us at the country club?"
Because I own a country club.
We're like, well, me and Jay were like, yeah, let's go.
Not in the beginning.
I was
Yeah, you
let's
were.
go.
You were already fired up.
Maddie was like, I don't want to get killed.
Yeah.
What if
He's
they're
like, we're in
murderers?
backwoods.
What if they're gonna wear our skin after?
He drove the Silverado.
That's a nice truck.
It is a nice truck. I'm proud to build America. That's great. But he drives a Silverado. You think somebody that owns a country club?
Yeah, maybe.
Country club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
It turned out to be all right. I was wrong.
Anyways, we
It was
went,
amazing.
and he had the keys. He made us some like 5-star dish and shit, and we.
Lavender.
It was crazy.
Creme brulee.
Yeah.
Brulee.
Yeah, well,
Brulee.
we were standing at the bar, and the bartender's like, "Are you gonna go?" or something like that to us, and she's like, "He's legit," and we're like, "Yep, we're going." And we're like, "Maddie, get in the RV, we're going."
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yep, it was. That's what that was the switch that was somebody else.
But either way, I'm saying he's very skeptical. and
One day it'll come in handy.
he's taking his ass to Brazil, and he's gonna have a great time.
If you guys can't get that beekeeper suit, just go with like one of those like big large mosquito nets that people like tent in. Just let him sit outside and just have him play in that. Just completely, just don't let him leave.
I would love to see that.
I think
All of a sudden, just jamming out. All of a sudden, like trying to walk around on stage, and all of a sudden he realizes that he can only go a certain distance and not really turn around. So you're just gonna be jamming, just constantly, just going like this the whole time.
guy in the net.
I guarantee people are watching this going, stupid American things with the giant and mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It's funny because my father was born in South America in Uruguay, which is right next to it. So I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm good with it.
And then you've got skeptical man. It's just like, they got big mosquitoes,
your
man.
father's country's full of crazy bugs.
Hey, I mean, they've got I mean, if you guys get a chance to play in Brazil, if you guys get a chance, because the band I talked to or recorded just before with you guys was from Brazil, and they're like, yeah, try and go to Rock in Rio. If you talk to any bands, I'm like, yeah, this actually is coming in handy a couple hours later. So if you guys get a chance, play at Rock in Rio.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in.
I'm down.
might have to connect you with that guy because he used to be a huge, like, before he started the band, he used to be a huge like festival promoter. So he might have a good amount of contacts you guys could
yeah, man,
try and
that's
work
a
with.
good call.
Any contact's a good contact.
Yeah, for sure.
This one seemed pretty legit because the guy also was very into it with System of a Down.
Sweet.
Cool.
That's not a bad connect there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that all after we stop recording because, well, not giving out too much information.
Cool.
All right, guys, we're right about that half-hour mark. So, yeah, pretty much that's it, I guess.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for having us, man.
Thanks for being on, guys, even though this was like kind of essentially like 6 months in the making because of the whole entire COVID thing. We were waiting to figure out what the hell was going on, but I'm glad we got to do this now, especially with Never Back Down coming out because, man, it just makes it even better.
Awesome.
Well, thanks,
Thank you.
man.
Yeah, we
Is that a
appreciate
Kingdom Collapse shirt?
It is.
Okay, cool.
I've got that, and I've got a signed drum head from the whole entire band hanging up on the wall over there.
Those guys they're newer, right?
Yeah, they're newer. I've interviewed them. I've interviewed their lead singer twice, and then right before COVID hit, I ended up seeing them at a bar just outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I've been working with them and talking with them pretty much since middle of 2019.
Those guys and Saul, which I think you talked to today, right?
Yeah.
Those guys and Saul both go through the same promotional company that we do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I never really dealt with that with King. I dealt with that with Saul, but not Kingdom, or kind of with Saul, I guess, but not really Kingdom Collapse, just because I ended up getting introduced through a mutual friend. So I was like, oh, I kind of like circumnavigated that.
I'm sure we'll all know each other in due time when touring is back up and running.
Oh yeah, especially with the new album that Saul has coming out, and then King Collapse working on their debut album that's coming out next year. It's going to be insane.
Yep. That's the one good thing that's come out of this coronavirus thing is bands can hunker down and start really focusing on what actually matters, which I've always said this forever. It all boils down to the song. You could tour as much as you want on a few songs, but it's better to have more content and quality songs because that's what the listeners want, to be able to hear a good song.
Oh yeah, just wait till that Saul album comes out. I mean, if you've heard the singles already, the rest of the album hits the exact same way.
All those bands are great, that the company works with. They don't just take anybody. They turn a lot down. So
no, they got you guys. They got King Collapse. They got Saul. There's probably plenty others. Maybe some that I've already interviewed. I don't know, but I mean, if they're the ones that I think they are, holy shit, they're legit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but before we sign off, is there anything you guys want to say before we give the old sayonara?
Hey, man, thank you so much for having us. And sorry it took so long to connect, and we're glad that we could. And now we have to go and load about 800 pounds of crap down my stairs into the basement.
More than that, yeah.
Oh, sounds like fun. But so everybody that's listening, when it comes to No Resolve, when it comes to following them, listening to music, buying the merch, whatever it is, you guys want that one-stop shop to find that stuff. If you're watching YouTube, look at the description of the video. If you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or iHeartRadio, take a look at the description of the podcast. You're going to get a whole bank of links. Everything's going to be labeled. It's going to be a one-stop shop. You can follow No Resolve. You can listen to all their stuff. And make sure that when October 2nd rolls around, you go online and you listen to Never Back Down because you will be elated. You will feel like running through a wall after you hear that song. It is awesome. So, yeah, go do it.
Don't forget to pre-save that song.
No. This is coming out after it's released, right?
No, it's coming out the day beforehand.
Day before.
Pre-save the song.
Pre-save it. Really quick. Do it right now. We'll get there one day.
You have 1 day. Pre-save the song.
Yeah, pre-save it. You'll get it.
You have 1 day. Pre-save the song. But if you listen after that day, just go listen to it like right now.
Right now. Immediately.
Yeah.
And if you hear it on the radio, which you probably are going to, because this is going to be on the radio.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what stations, but
if not, then just keep listening to it. That's pretty much it.
All the time.
Request at your local rock radio station.
Right, there you go.
That sounds about right. I'm gonna have to start doing that. Just start placing some random calls in there, and also everyone request this to be played on Sirius XM Octane. If you request it enough, they will not ignore it. We saw that with Kingdom Collapse. It works. Trust me.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a song from Unity at full rotation. A couple songs that were on Octane.
Well, let's get this one on Octane. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for being on the podcast. This was awesome. And I do have you on my list for First Rounds on Me. You guys are band number 11 on there. So when you guys come around and I see you live for the first time, First Rounds on Me.
Oh, right. Man, we're going to be ordering some high-class ass shit.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm afraid of, but it'll be worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Coors Banquet.
Hey, I love Coors Banquet, so we're good. All right, so cheers, guys.
So much,
and
man.
Thank you.
See you later.
Ooh.
Well, folks, that was my interview with the band No Resolve, and yes, you are going to want to listen to Never Back Down. So if you're listening to this podcast the day of the release, please pre-save that bad boy. And if you're listening after, go to their Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Google Play, whatever it might be, and listen to Never Back Down by No Resolve, because it is going to be killer. And when it comes to making sure that you're in the know with them, yeah, just follow them. Just take a look at the links in our description, and you're going to follow everything you're going to want to follow them, because they've got even more stuff coming out after this. So get jacked up. Yeah. So please do that. Please subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. And that's going to be for me today, guys. Thank you guys for watching and listening. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast, website MSOTD. Rocks. We're rockin' metal thrive. And because my name is Kevin, you guys know how I end every single one of these episodes with a big, healthy, and hearty see ya.